Hey guys, welcome back to Your Lake Fork Guide. Guides Network edition today. It's me again, and my phone's ringing. So, one of you guys commented on the last video. We're catching a lot of really big fish, super shallow on warming trends, and y'all asked, "What do you do when it gets tough?" Well, today it got tough, and I'm here to help you. So to kind of set up the situation for you guys, if you didn't watch last week's video, right there, go watch that one first, then come back and watch this one. So we had a long warming trend, prolonged warming trend. The backs of the pockets were much warmer than the mouths, and these big fish were getting really shallow, and we were catching the fire out of them. I mean, they were back there chewing, and we were catching some really nice fish. This is a week later. What has happened is we had some cold nights, some really cold nights down in the 30s even, throughout this week, and it kind of knocked the fish back a little bit. And what happened was those fish were right on the verge of spawning, and some of them even were spawning. Show it to them, Zach. Telling you, you can't carry them Watts boys nowhere. Try to get some work done, they over here catching fish next to you. So anyways, we had those cold nights. I think, so what had happened is the fish were just right on the verge of wanting to spawn. They were really starting to think about it, and they got that cold air and kind of knocked them back. Now, in some of the far northern reaches of the lake, they actually have started spawning. There's just a few spots of there's some fish on beds, but in the mid-lake area where we were fishing before, you know, those fish weren't quite ready to spawn when they got those cold nights. Now, because they were so close to spawning, those fish don't go anywhere. They don't leave. They're still going to stay back there. Unless it gets so cold that the back of the pocket gets colder than the mouth, then they're not going to go anywhere. They're just going to be a lot harder to catch. So, what we had to do to catch those fish today, slow way, way, way down. I mean, painstakingly slow with weightless plastics. The best one for us today was the 5-inch smash stick, just a 5-inch stick bait like a Cinco or Yum Dinger. There's a bunch of brands out there. You know, Heath Taylor, you guys know at Smash Stick, he makes a lot of good baits. This is just another one of them. It catches a lot of fish for us. So watermelon red's probably my main color with that one. Black and blue is always good. Anything watermelon based with any kind of flake in it's going to be good when you're fishing that super shallow water. So that's been our best one. But we did get some bites on the Magnum Zoom trick worm and the regular Zoom trick worm wacky rigged. Same colors. You want to go with the same watermelon base, maybe a black base. If it's real dark like it is today, you can get away with that. But we're wacky rigging those, and we've done an in-depth how-to on the wacky rig. If you guys haven't seen that video, here it is. But just to kind of recap it real simple for you, you take a Gamakatsu Finesse wide gap weedless 1/0 hook. That's what we rig it on, and we put a half nail weight, these Lunker City nail weights. We take those and break them in half and stick that in the head of the trick worm on the Magnum or the regular. Hey, would you stop playing in my nursery? Zach's catching another baby over there. He's having fun. It's been a tough day. You're just glad to be getting some bites, huh?
Hey, it's all about the bite and the fight, baby.
Bite and a fight. Wow, you keep making me lose my train of thought, Z-Dub. Way to go. So that's how we're rigging them wacky. And then the other option too is a fluke. This is a really good one. This is a watermelon red pearl type color. Watermelon seed is actually my favorite color on a fluke, just plain watermelon seed. But the deal is with all of these, in these conditions, when those fish were right at spawning and then they get hit with a cold front, you're going to have to slow down so much, like as slow as you could ever think of possibly going, and then slow it down. For the setup, I told you guys when I'm fishing this really shallow water, I actually go to a mono line. It helps me get more lift on that bait and more glide on that bait, a little bit more flutter. This is a 7.3 medium heavy TFO. That's my favorite rod for my weightless plastics. I also use a Dobbins 703 a lot. On that mono, I'm using 12-pound big game. The reel doesn't really matter because you're never really moving the bait with your reel. You're just dragging it along, hopping it along. So whatever reel gear ratio you're most comfortable with, that's the one you want to use. Hook on the smash stick. That is a 4-aught Gamakatsu Superline. Heavy wire line, heavy duty. So for Lake Fork, it's not so much about the fish because you can catch a big fish on a light wire hook, but we got a lot of really heavy cover on this lake. And when you're trying to get that fish through that cover and around that cover and force him through it, that heavy hook is going to help you a lot, because there's a lot of times when they get a ton of leverage on you and they can bend one of those thinner hooks out when they're wrapped around those stumps. That's pretty much it, guys. You want to stay in the same areas. You want to stay in the backs of the flat pockets, slow way down, and take what you can get. Those fish are still there. The big ones are still there too. They're just a lot harder to catch than they were a few days ago before the cold spell. Now, like I said, if it gets so cold that the back of the pocket is significantly cooler than the front of the pocket, they will back out. And that's a completely different ball game. You got to fish a completely different way. But as long as the water temps are equal to or greater than in the backs versus the mouth, you're good to go in the back of the creek. All right, now I'm going to jump up and show you guys just exactly how slow I'm talking about when we're retrieving this bait. So I'll make a few casts, see if I can't show you guys how we're doing this. Just want a long cast. Preferably in these cooler conditions, they're going to be hugged up to a stump a lot of times, so you want to get it next to cover if you can. But if you're fishing a big grass flat, that's fine too. Just make a long cast. And then all I want to do to move that bait, once it's all the way on the bottom and I've let it sit there for a while, I just want to softly. It's a very soft twitch. It's not quick. You don't want that bait jerking around. You make that long cast, preferably to cover, and you just want to hit it softly. You don't want to jerk on it. You just want that bait to kind of glide up and move slow. Remember, these fish are kind of in shock. They're cold. It was a lot warmer a few days before, and you want to make sure that you're just moving that bait just the same way they are. So just soft, slow twitches. I usually stick with 2 at a time, just like that. And what will happen is one of these times you're going to twitch it, and it'll be rock solid. Don't wait. Set the hook right now. All right, guys. So that's it, man. Just stick with it. You know, those fish are still in those same areas. You can still catch them there. They're just a lot harder to catch. So really stay at them hard, slow, way down. Throw those weightless plastics at them. Still get you a bite or two every once in a while. As always, we appreciate you guys watching Your Lake Fork Guide. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. And what do you know about it, Richard Watts?
Yeah, man, I kind of like, what can I say? I mean, this has been a tough day, yeah. I said, you know, had some boudin. If I had some boudin, I'd throw some boudin out there. But I don't know what they're looking for today. Bad weather, cold cast. Good, nice out here, beautiful out here. But hey, nothing like Fork though. Good fishing, great fishing out here. You can always depend on Billy. Billy gonna steer you right. He's gonna tell you right. You're gonna be catching fish. Count on it.
He's not from Texas. Little Cajun influence. Hope y'all enjoyed that. We'll see you next time.
Anytime for Mardi Gras.
Look at that. What'd you catch that one on?
Wacky worm.
Wacky worm, wacky Cinco?
You want to weigh? No, it's a Magnum trick worm.
Magnum trick worm.
I just got something to eat.
Good fish.
Hey,
Lake Fork, Texas, baby.
Me again, and my phone's ringing. Talk to him, Zach. You can't carry the watch boys nowhere. Try to get some work done, they over here catching fish.
Kind of like, what can I say? I mean, this has been a tough day, yeah. I said, you know, had some boudin. If I had some boudin, I'd throw some boudin out there. But I don't know what they're looking for.